Well, the first part, and I think this will maybe go in a slightly different direction than what you had in mind, is, but one thing that seems clear to me is right now we have this very nicely organized model where it doesn't matter which discipline you study, more or less the structure looks the same. You go to courses or seminars, you write papers or exams, they're semester long, and after 4 years you get a bachelor's, or 3 years, and after 5 years, you know, it's like, it's surprisingly similar given that all these people are studying totally different things and maybe go on to do totally different things. So I think we'll see a huge amount of diversity being introduced into the university, because the one driver is the employers, I think, are not happy with the graduates right now, and they're asking for very specific things. And I think that's worth resisting also. I think the university has a responsibility to always resist the market and resist politics, because it should be a free space, an open space. It's not always easy, but so I think we need to resist, but we also have to engage. We can't say, no, we've always done this way, and so we're going to keep doing it. I think it's very useful to work with the industry, because they are closer to what's happening out there often, right? Like they're faster also. And so what I see is in corporate training, there's a much higher acceptance of digital learning already than in higher education. And so they are starting to wonder, why does higher education still look the same way when they're very successfully doing digital education in the corporate environment? And it's often very high quality. So it's not the old model where you sit in front of your computer by yourself and you watch hours and hours of video, or they send you the materials by mail and you're by yourself. There's no community. You know, your feedback is, you get no feedback, or you get feedback 6 months later. You know, it's the digital and blended learning in particular what looks very different today. But then the other thing that I think is going to be an even bigger change is the young people that I see growing up today, the way that they engage with technology and the amount of learning that happens on YouTube. So for me, YouTube is always worth kind of its own subject. I mean, we can talk about digital media in general, but I think YouTube, if you look at YouTube, the amount of educational content on YouTube is absolutely mind-boggling. And I often challenge, in particular, experts who have worked longer in their fields, who kind of, they don't really, when you say YouTube, they're kind of, well, isn't that just a bunch of videos, you know, that, and I challenge them, I say, okay, pick a topic from your field that's fairly advanced and search on YouTube to see how many videos exist that explain it. And so far, without fail, they found some amazing materials, and they were surprised. They're like, oh my God, this is a very, very good explanation. So I think people who grow up with this understanding of YouTube and places like that being sources of learning, they are going to be very surprised when they come into a higher education world where the only trusted resource is supposed to be the professor in the textbook. Like, that will feel very alien to them. And so I think we'll get pressure from that side as well. And I think good pressure, right? Because I think change is good, and I think the professors have much more important things to contribute than reading a textbook in front of students. And so they can focus on the things that I think are more important, which is supporting and guiding and really understanding what's happening with the students. And the content stuff, we can get that out of the classroom.